This is a difficult video to do. I'm going to talk about tongue chewing and neurodivergency, something that I've only really begun to understand over the last year or two with the help of my daughter. But there's all these different things and quirks about me my whole life that I never really understood. And, people looking at me weird and stuff, and they couldn't understand it. So I just want to kind of tell you a little bit of my story. I want to talk about the habit that I've chewed my tongue my whole life. I just can't stop. I mean, like if I'm concentrating on anything, if I'm driving a car, if I'm focusing on something on the computer or looking at my phone, or if I'm, at work and I'm focusing on a task, and people look at me and they're like, they laugh at me, and even though, I look goofy. And so I kind of carried this shame in my life. People make fun of me. And I was like, how can I get rid of this? Why am I like this? I don't know anyone else who had this problem. Until recently, I learned that for me, what really became hard is I'd be like, walking in a store and some woman, looks at me and kind of smiles, and I'm thinking, oh, she probably, is just being nice. I find out that she's, really just laughing because I look goofy. And I've learned that just because I look goofy, it's not that they're laughing at me as much as it's just kind of a novelty. But I've learned about this whole tongue chewing thing is that it's a stim. A stim, which is basically short for stimulation. It's a way for me to release energy, to deal with life, to focus. And I have more than just the tongue, but I have a whole nother episode. I'm going to talk about those things. But just briefly mention that, maybe you have the tongue chewing thing too. I'd really love to know if there's anyone else out there who has this, because if you put it in the comments, that'd be great. Because I feel like there needs to be a community of us that kind of stick together. Hey, wow, we're not alone. We're not the only one who does this. But I also wiggle my toes. I'm literally wiggling them right now as I as I make this video. I'm wiggling my toes and eye scanning when I talk. My eyes are like, I'm thinking, my eyes kind of go back and forth in my head, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. But when I videotape myself and then I see myself back, I see my eyes going back and forth. And again, that's another neurodivergent type thing. If I'm concentrating, I do better if I'm walking around. Like if I'm commuting, I've been like a public speaker. So much easier for me to walk around than it is to sit down. So like me sitting down right now is literally driving my ADHD crazy. So I've always struggled with memories. When I was in school, it doesn't matter how many times I listen, I can enjoy an entire lecture and then sit down at the desk and I can't remember anything. And it's like I was told you need to memorize Bible scriptures when I was at church, and I couldn't memorize them. It was really hard for me. But I felt like I was broken because I can't remember, and I'm struggling with that even more as I get older. I forget things. I can't remember what things are called, and it's developed a real frustration for me. I'm a big picture thinker. I don't know if you are, but like it's easier for me to see like the big picture of something rather than the details. Definitely not a detail-oriented person. I'm a big picture person, so when it comes to the details, I end up with a blind spot. You know what I mean? So it's like I can say, hey man, this is how I'm in my backyard right now. I want to build this pergola, and I want to put in a swimming pool, which I have right over there, and yet the details are really hard for me. My wife is the complete opposite. She's a list maker, and so she writes everything down and checks it off. And I rather just wing it and go for it. Another example of that is like I can't tell you how many times I've tried to learn how to play the piano. Sitting down at the piano, trying to learn how to play it. Um, I just can't remember anything. So I actually have the gift of playing by ear. So I play the guitar. I'm very musical. I like to sing. I like to make up songs. I do a lot of AI music. And I have another channel called Crashing Lyrics. But I can't remember. Like I'll make up a song. I'll just sit there and make up an entire song, and it's like really good, and I can't remember. For me to play it back, I can't remember it. When I picked up the guitar, it kind of was a whole new thing because it was more simple, and I could strum chords, and like I would do like worship at church or at youth group, and I could play 3-4 chords, and you could pretty much play any song. And through repetition, it's a lot easier. But AI music has been incredible because it's like I can, just make up a song, record it while I'm making it up, and then send it into the AI software, and it'll create the whole thing for me. I have a huge range of interests. I don't know if you do. Let me know in the comments. Are you like me? It's like I could be pretty much interested in anything and everything. Just give you an example. I love cars, muscle cars. I like remodeling my house. I like to make up voices. I have so many voices, probably like 30 different voices. I can do frog here. Miss Piggy here. I am so mad at you, Kermit. And then I have my own voices, like, Grandpa, I'm Grandpa Cowboy. Yeah, when I was a little boy, I grew up on a farm, and we used to eat country kitchen. My mom used to take country kitchen and pour it all over the pancakes, and oh, it was so good. I have like 30 different voices, and I'll just walk around the house doing these voices, and it's like so weird. People just like, my family's like, oh, that's just dad. Dad's weird. I'm into technology. I love tech. I've been into tech since the IBM PC and Radio Shack stuff, all the way to the current. I used to have a reel-to-reel deck, and now I'm into Spotify and AI music. I just love technology. I'm a podcaster. I have a podcast that's like on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I love vinyl. I collect vinyl records. I have like probably over 600 records worth like thousands of dollars. I don't know. I love to go camping. I like to be outdoors. I love the moon. I call it my buddy. And I guess what I'm saying is that I love everything. I'm curious about everything. I want to know how things work. So like if a repairman comes over to my house, I totally want to watch them because I want to see how they do it, because I think it's so cool. And I love those YouTube videos, it's like the how-tos, and how do they make crayons, how do they make Oreo cookies. Love that stuff. So this is how my brain sees the world. I don't see calendars like in squares and in the different months. I see the whole year like as a circle. So at the top you have like December, and then January, and then you go February, March, April, and spring. So spring's like off to the right, and then down below is you go into the summer months, and then you come around the corner into the fall, which we're moving into right now as I'm making this video, and that's on the other side, the left side, and you get back up to the top, November, December, and January and December. The New Year is right at the very top. Life is a circle. I see, you're born, you go around, you're a child, you're a teenager, and then you're, a young adult, and then a midlife adult, and then you're an older adult, and then you die. I look at like Bible scriptures, and I can look at a scripture, and I can like write an entire diagram about it, which makes sense to me. But if you looked at it, it would be like, whoa, what is this? I like to make weird lists, like list of all the cats that we've owned, all the cat names and all the dog names. And I have a teddy bear that when I was a little boy named Fuzzy Wuzzy. I kind of see things as I attach to them. I think I'm gonna talk about that another time, but I have real attachment things. So like Fuzzy Wuzzy was like pretty much real to me. Was real to me. And when my dad took him away, because I urinated on him too many times, I cried and cried. And they tried to give me a replacement. And I'm like, no, it's not a replacement. You can't replace it with this fake bear. I want Fuzzy Wuzzy, You know what I'm talking about? Just kind of holding on. It's like my whoopee. I got to have it. But this is how I process life. And another thing I learned about myself, this is all just this neurodivergent stuff I'm learning. I didn't know all this was, but it is. And for 46 years of my life, I've really been a task-oriented person. I want to get the job done. I can work. I work till the task is over. Fixated. I fixate on things. Whether it's whatever I'm into, I get obsessed and I fixate, and I want to get the job done. So I'd be like up till 2, 3 in the morning. I used to do websites back, when you had webmasters, and I wanted to get that website done, and so I just do it all night long and basically burn the candle on both ends. And then the next day I was so wiped out and I had to sleep all day, and it was really difficult for me to stop. And so back in 2023, I went to this Celebrate Recovery Summit in Lake Forest, California at a Saddleback church, and I just felt like I needed to, like, I've been baptized, as a Christian when I was a teenager, and I wanted to get rebaptized because I felt like God was saying to me, no longer are you going to be just this task-oriented person, that you really love people, and I want to challenge you to put people before the task. And I've really worked on that, and I've changed a lot. I still struggle with it, but I've changed a lot, really putting my family before anything. It's been a blessing to be able to be more people focused. So it's kind of like been this paradigm shift, because I really want to protect my family. Yes. And I know it's strange to some people, but this is survival for me. This is survival. It's how I live my life. So if I'm driving down the road in the car and I'm not talking to anybody, I'm probably chewing on my tongue. It's survival. If I'm riding my motorcycle, I'm probably chewing my tongue. It's survival. If I'm shopping in a store, I'm probably chewing my tongue. It's survival. I want to ask you a question before I go. If you have got a lifetime habit, nail biting, hair twirling, tongue chewing, you're not broken. You are like me. We are neurodivergents. You might just be wired differently than the rest of most people. So you're not weird, and you're not alone. So please, would you like this video and subscribe to it, because I really want to get a lot of it'd be so cool to build up enough following that we could begin to develop this together and build a community. So if that's you, will you please do that? And thanks for watching this video, and I'm gonna have a part 2 sometime in the near future. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.